Judge Kennedy, what does it mean to you to be a Democrat?
Let me tell you this, and I agree that we have a lot of philosophical differences, but I think that we have to make a decision as to where we want to go with the party. Do we want to win elections, or do we want to have important discussions about social and moral and ethical issues and lose elections?
Amen.
Who's the A? Win elections?
And I say that to say that in Alabama, we don't have to manipulate, or I guess bastardize the message to the extent that we are not being true to ourselves. But if I've got a box of cereal sitting out here next to Rice Krispies, and mine are better than Rice Krispies, but I don't have it appropriately packaged, nobody's going to buy my Rice Krispies, even though it's going to make you a lot healthier.
That's right.
I think that we are going to have to be much more practical as it relates to how do we approach recruitment of Democrats. When I first got into politics, I was very young when I ran for the Supreme Court the first time. Obviously, I was very young because I'm on 36 now. But,
Would you mind reading these cards?
that's right. You noticed I took my glasses off. But I really thought that once I became the Democratic nominee, that therefore the Democratic Party was going to run my race. And I was sorely mistaken. They didn't run my race. They didn't give me voter lists. The only time they called was when they wanted money from me. So I told everybody, don't answer their phone calls. I thought that the Democratic Party existed for the purpose of electing Democrats to office. And I was wrong. So then what we as candidates did, and what the Democratic Party allowed us to fall into the culture of, don't worry about money, don't worry about message, don't worry about campaigning. Because there are all of these groups out here, from trial lawyers who supported me, organized labor who supported me, AEA who supported me. After the trial lawyers fell away, then the gaming interests began supporting Democrats. So don't worry about going out and reaching out to people to raise money $1 at a time. Here are the media folks over here that are going to help you. So therefore, the party to us became irrelevant because they were providing no services to me as a candidate. Therefore, when I was elected, I didn't have any specific allegiance to the party because I didn't even know who they were. Now I'm running for chairman of the Democratic Party, and I'm being very honest and upfront with everyone that's encouraged me to do that. I am an outsider. I have never been to an SDEC meeting. I have never been on the SDEC. When I was a judge, I was prohibited from those kinds of activities. So I'm either walking into the best experience of my life, or I may be walking into a buzzsaw. But I know this, and hear me when I say, if we don't put our differences aside, whatever they may be, and I hear stories from all over the state about different personality conflicts and different issues, if we are not willing to put those conversations aside until we can formulate a plan where we can reinvigorate white Alabama voters as well as African American with a solid message of hope, of prosperity, and promise that will give them a reason to join hands with all of you in this room, we're not going to be where we want to be in the next 136 years. So the Democratic Party as it stands today, from what I've discovered, is lacking in message, we lack in money, and we lack in organization. And so before we can go out and recruit new Democrats, we've got to get our house in order. And the way that I believe we get our house in order is I get in my car, y'all get in your cars, and we start working from the ground up. I've never built an organization when I've been working for different nonprofits where you started from the top down. We've got to have a precinct plan. We've got to have a voter. I've never heard of selling a voter file to, I mean, if I've got the voter file, and you need the voter file and you're a candidate so you can identify Democrats in your area, why should I not give that to you? Why shouldn't I come to your campaign headquarters and help you call those people? We can't depend. But in exchange for that, then I'm going to have to come and ask you to be an investor in our company. If I can't sell something to candidates that they should get for free, then under the new ethics rules and under the new rules that the legislature passed, which are a mishmash, that even with my 22 years of experience as a judge, I have to sit there and read it, and I'm still not sure I understand it. But I know this, it's going to be up to each one of us individually. If we believe we're going to have to put our money where our mouth is, we're going to have to reach out across the aisle of race, of religion, of creed, of disagreements, of disharmony, and we're going to have to say we're going to put that aside until we can map a new future, because we believe that there are people out there that need us. We believe that anyone on public assistance that voted for the Republicans voted against their self-interest. You know, I heard yesterday about how we're going to stand up to the federal government, no more federal intervention. That's one of the oldest ploys in the book. And the first person that I ever had said it wound up being my father-in-law. And I'm going to go ahead and get everything I know over my wife. And one thing I've done, and I've quit doing it, even though it's addictive, is I've quit reading blogs. Because I've learned more bad about myself on blogs than I ever knew, living my life. I'm George Wallace's son-in-law. I've never been to an SDC meeting. I'm a quiet, kind of reserved guy, they think. I'm not a fighter. And I'm old. So that's all I can tell you about me that everybody else is saying. But I'm telling you, I have the heart and the energy and the drive and the respect for you that might not succeed, but I will run the wheels off my car. But it's not going to work if we don't join hands, sing Kumbaya, and then go out to these local communities and start organizing house by house with a firm message that we all agree on. I don't think that the message can be about health care. Nobody understands it. There's nobody out there. My wife was in the hospital over Christmas holidays. I'm just going to tell you everything about my family. I got the bill, $33,000 for 4 days in the hospital. What did I do with the bill? Looked at it, stuck it in the drawer. Why? Because I have insurance. It's not important to me. I just wanted her to get well and have good treatment. If I didn't have insurance, I wouldn't have put that in the drawer. I would have fallen to my knees and started praying about how am I going to pay it, because I know they're going to come after me and take everything they can get from me legally for me to pay that $33,000. And that's the difference. We care. It's not about whether health reform is good or bad or the national health plan. It's about that we believe that nobody in Alabama should ever be denied the access to this kind of care that my wife got when she walked into that hospital and everybody paid attention to her.